Hey witches, welcome back to the channel. Once again, this is Hectarios, Witch of the Realms. For this video, we're going to do our reading for the December 4th, 2021 total solar eclipse that has taken place. I took a look at the astrology, and at the time of greatest eclipse, which is 1:33 a.m. Central Standard Time, the sun and the moon are conjunct in constellation Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer, and Mercury is also conjunct as well to this total solar eclipse. So there's a very interesting dynamic going on with this energy. Ophiuchus is the sign of sort of rebirth, resurrection, things coming back to life. Ophiuchus was a healer in the ancient times, said to have had the power to resurrect from the dead. So that's the energy of this constellation. It's a resurrecting, rebirth energy. So we have the solar eclipse taking place there. So this is going to be some sort of major shifting energy going on with that as well. Then we have Mercury present, which is communication, transportation, that dynamic social energy, business transaction as well, just business in general. So this could be things to do with work. This could be things to do with your finances. This could be things to do with, like I said, once again, your transportation, your vehicle, things like that. And communication, messages, going back and forth. Now, I have to say though, I do feel a bit of a negative energy with this solar eclipse in particular. I don't know exactly why, but I feel this sort of almost just a potential of negative things happening with this energy, because I have been having dreams. I've had dreams of like vampires and things like that, and I feel like the message there was just to be aware of psychic vampires. We had the partial lunar eclipse at the full moon. Now we're having the total solar eclipse here at the new moon. So this is the eclipse season, we're in it. And I also feel like this time of year, especially in the northern hemisphere where it's like winter right now, this is vampire season as well. This is when people come around and try to use you, try to get things out of you, things like that. People, you know who they are, versus like normal people that you'd want to spend holiday seasons with, versus people that you haven't seen and that don't call, that haven't been around, nothing, and then all of a sudden they want to show up now at this time and things like that. So that could be something else that I feel like was part of the vampire dream. Just a warning of psychic vampires coming around, trying to weasel their way back into your life at this time. Don't fall for it. Don't allow that energy or allow those people back in, okay? Have to say that. Because we do have the Ophiuchus energy, that rebirth, resurrection. I feel like there's a potential that these psychic vampires can be coming in with that resurrecting energy, if that makes sense, trying to come back into your life and things like that. So don't allow the energy to be reborn in your life. Don't allow those people to be resurrected back into your life, okay? That's the warning with this. Now, that said, I'm sure that there's also some positive energy, some positive influences coming in with this. This is the energy of change and rebirth, and that has a lot of positive aspects. So once again, just look to these different areas that I said, especially with Mercury being present there. Communication, social energy, business, transportation, all of that, any type of rebirth or renewal or big change that's for the better could also be coming in with that aspect. So that's my sort of rundown on my intuitive astrology aspect of this. Psychically, once again, I just feel like that vampiric warning message was coming through. I don't really feel like there was much else psychically. I did have some paranormal events happen with my doll, the Dark Fae doll, but I shared a video on that already, so I'm not going to go into that again. But yeah, I just feel, and I don't know if you just heard that, but my desk just popped right underneath where my phone is recording. That was crazy. Oh, I did have one more psychic message that I got about flooding and floods going on. It was a dream that I had actually about that. And one of my friends did, I think Michael, was that you, commented saying that there was flooding going on in Canada right now. So that could be what that message was about. But I also recently saw that there's flooding going on in Australia. So I have a lot of friends that live in both of those places, and that could have been why I was getting sort of psychic messages about the flooding that's going on there. So if you live in those areas, just be safe. If there's any sort of optional evacuations or anything like that, do it. Don't hesitate to just be safe with whatever's going on in those areas at this time. But yeah, that's basically going to be it. Now let's go ahead and get into the tarot reading. I'm going to be using the Lumina Tarot by Inner Hue. Now I align myself with the Most High God and the Holy Spirit Hecate. Please communicate the truth to me through these cards so that I may be guided for the highest good of all. Thank you, and so mote it be. Please give us your divine guidance for this total solar eclipse, new moon energy. What do we need to know or do at this time for our highest good, greatest success and joy? Please give us your divine guidance now. Thank you, and so mote it be. I know the lighting's not that good on my phone, but we have the Temperance card. So we have the mixing of the water and the fire element, alchemy, right? Transformation, adaptability, patience with change. Those are some of the messages of the Temperance card. So the Temperance energy is all about that sort of mixing, alchemizing, right? Crafting something. And being patient through that process. Being aware that it takes time to get the perfect recipe down. That's what this energy is about. So with this being present here, it makes perfect sense with the eclipse energy. We're being called to be adaptable, be changeable, be versatile, and be sort of the one that takes control of it. That was another message that came through at the beginning of this. Before I started recording, as I was sitting here thinking about doing the video, the message was coming to me, take control of the chaos. So that's what we're doing with the Temperance card. There's all this sort of chaotic energy going on. Changing energy is chaotic, or in some aspects, but you are the alchemist. You are the witch. You are the one that's in control of this energy, or that has the potential to take control of it if you choose. So that's what we're being called to do with the Temperance energy. The water, right? She's standing on the water, but yet she's on a stone on the water. So this is being grounded in the center of that chaos, right? Water, it's all flowing, it's all chaotic if you think about it. But she's standing on a stone and she's peacefully, perfectly controlling it. So be that sort of stone, be that anchor within, be unmovable in your will, and take charge, take control from that place of groundedness. Take charge and take control of this changing energy and make it work in your favor, because the next card that we have is the Wheel of Fortune. And look what we have here. Almost reminds me of like a spider weaving its web. The Wheel of Fate, the Wheel of Fortune, the weavers of fate. And once again, the Wheel of Fortune is about changes taking place. Changes for the better, changes for the worse. Life has its ups and downs. There's always going to be changes for the better and changes for the worse. There's never going to be anything that stays exactly the same. Things will always be fluctuating. Things will always be changing. And that's why you have to stay in this Temperance energy. Trust that you can adapt and be versatile. Change yourself along with the changes that are going on in your life and at large in the world, so that you can be the spider spinning the web. You can be the one that says, okay, I can see these things are changing. Some things are changing for the worse. Some things are changing for the better. And I'm going to change myself to make these different things work for me. That's what you need to be aware of with this energy. Okay? And once again, with the symbolism here, we have this sort of mix of fire and water, the sun and the moon, right? The total solar eclipse. Fire and water. Alchemy. Being aware of the alchemical process. Taking control of it. And the final card that we have is the Ten of Pinnacles. A beautiful bear one of my favorite animals to astral project in the form of, and a bee on his forehead. So we have that strength, that nurturing of the bear, right? The mother bear energy, that's what I feel with that. And then we have the bee, the queen bee, the busy bee energy. 10 of Pinnacles, it's all about, well, let's be real, it's all about finances. It's all about material wealth, shared wealth with the family as well, prosperity, protection that comes along with that, being part of a family, being part of a group of people who share this energy of the bear and the bee, right? This close-knit bond, right? This family unit, whether that is like blood family or chosen family, close friends, loved ones, and whatever that means. There's a protection that comes along with being part of that group, and a prosperity that goes along with it too, because of the sharing aspect. We're all sharing our energy, our support, our mutual support with each other, all of that energy. It's protective and it brings in prosperity and abundance. So that is also part of this. Sorry, my mouth is getting a little bit dry there. This is also about tradition, values being passed along through the family once again, or through your chosen family once again. I feel like this calls back to the fact that Mercury was present as well with this alignment. I just realized my nipple was showing. I feel like this is part of that Mercury energy, business, communication, transportation, but more so with it being the 10 of Pentacles, I feel like this is a message of prosperity coming through, maybe through our social connections. Because I did say social energy was part of this too. So either you will be able to share prosperity and abundance with these people, whoever they are for you, or you will be getting support from people. There's potential for this to be going on with this energy. Yeah, now that message is coming back to me again. Take control of the chaos, make the chaos work for you. That is repeating to me right now in my mind. So I feel like that's definitely the key to this energy. With all this change that's taking place, whatever it is for each of us, with all of this sort of chaotic energy, remember, stay adaptable, stay changeable, be versatile, be the weaver of your own fate, right? Because it doesn't really matter what is going on around you. You can be the one that makes things work and go in your favor. No matter what's going on, you can find a way. So don't underestimate yourself and your power over your fate. We can always control ourselves and what we do. And that is the key. That is the rock that the Temperance card is standing on. It's you. You are your own rock. You are your own centeredness. You are your own grounded energy. It's you. That's the key. So stay in that energy. Don't allow yourself to be swept off your feet or, swept around in these changing currents. Embrace the change, but don't allow it to knock you off your game, right? Don't allow it to take away your power. Stay in your power. Stay in your grounded energy. Be the weaver of your own fate. And I feel with this being the final card of the reading, I feel like there's nothing but positive energy that can come from this. If you do what the reading's suggesting and you stay in that grounded energy and take charge of things. The only other thing I will say is, once again, with this, don't being swept up in chaos energy. Once again, with that warning I said at the beginning of the psychic vampires trying to come around, that could be part of the chaos or the resurrecting energy that's trying to come in. Put your foot down. Don't allow it back in. That's part of the staying grounded energy and not being swept away. So that includes by being swept away by other people, right? Don't allow other people's will or agenda to sway you. Stay grounded and centered in yourself. Okay? So that's going to be all for this reading, guys. Hopefully this is helpful to you in some way. Maybe do some magic based on controlling your destiny and your fate to lead to this prosperous energy and blessing the other people in your lives with this energy. But yeah, I hope that you have a great total solar eclipse. I hope that these energies bring, only goodness into your life. And I hope that you're able to avert any sort of negative energy that might come through with this. Okay, another message is coming through right now. You might have problems with transportation during this time, or some sort of like issues with your vehicle. Something like that could happen. So just be aware and plan for that. That could be something that you should be cautious with, or just be aware that it might happen, and maybe you might need to get some financial support from somebody or from some people in your life if something like that happens. But if you plan for it, if you're ready for it, you might be able to, not have to do that. However, even if something like that does happen, it will still lead to a positive change where you might be able to upgrade or update things. So be aware with that too. But that's the final note on that. I think if anything else comes through at the end of this. And once again, be safe if you're in any of these areas with flooding that's happening. Just be safe with that, because I am seeing the water all around this person with the Temperance card. So just be safe with that too. And I did see somewhere, I read an article about this total solar eclipse. The moon is at its perigee, pretty much. So there'll be higher tides than normal. So be aware with that too. Just once again, I have to put that caution energy out there with this water, flooding energy, whatever's going on with that. Just be safe, okay? If you're in an area that's vulnerable. And once again, if you would like to contact me for a private reading, for spell casting or spiritual services, anything like that, the methods are down below in the description box. And also, if you would like to join my Patreon and have access to all of my sort of advanced courses and videos on witchcraft and magic and things that you can do to elevate in that regard, the link is also down below in the description box. Thank you guys who have already joined the Patreon. I really appreciate you guys. And I'm happy that I'm able to share with more people. But yeah, that's going to be all. I will see you guys on the next videos. As always, until next time, hell Hecate, hell to the witches, and blessed be.